KCIM Sports presents the Pizza Ranch Saturday Morning Coaches Show with Sports Director Jeff Blankman.
Thank you very much, John, and good Saturday morning, everybody. Welcome here, of course. As John said, to the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show, we're going to talk, Deb Danner's going to join us, talk about the Carroll Boys swim team. They're down at the state meet. That'll wrap up today. We're also going to recap the Carroll girls wrestling season with Joe Daniels. He'll come in to talk about that. We're going to talk Carroll basketball with Randy Beeson and Katie Cook. We'll talk Kemper basketball with Sean Minahan and Justin Yetmar. We're going to talk Kemper boys wrestling with Shane Vaughn. We'll talk Carroll boys wrestling with Eric Noggle. All that coming up for you here in the next hour. But let's start off with local sports from yesterday. Just two events. The Carroll at Gilbert basketball game is postponed. They're looking for a makeup date hopefully early next week. But we'll start with the Carroll boys swim team. They were down at the state meet on Friday. Preliminary events for the individual events. And they had a really good day. Tegan Renzi is seeded first. He is going to be in first place heading into today's final, so he'll be in the fast lane. He swam a 139.87, winning the 200 free yesterday. He finished in second place in the 100 backstroke, swimming a 49.93. So again, he'll be a favorite or right near the favorites to win both the 200 free and 100 backstroke in the finals today. Legan Cease will also be swimming today. He'll be in the consolation final, so the best he can finish is in ninth place, but he will be swimming in both events today as well. Cease finished in 13th in the 100 fly in 52.01. He would finish in 14th in the 100 breaststroke in 59.59. Kemper boys bowling team headed down to the Hawkeye 10 Conference Tournament yesterday. It was hosted by Lewis Central down in Council Bluffs. The Knights would finish in 7th with 2,604 pins. Thomas Potamom and Fletch Bading led them. They both bowled a 359. Oliver Nami a 345. Tyler Lisi a 337. Creighton Halber a 309. And Caden Vanami finished up with a 302. Well, Step Boy, take a break. We've got, of course, the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show. Deb Danner joining us next here on KCIM.
Hey, moms and dads out there. Let Pizza Ranch make feeding your family fun and affordable. Every Tuesday night, kids 12 and under eat free. Whether they love the pizza, chicken, or mac and cheese, you'll make them all happy. When you're on the go with sports, church, or, well, just life, come in for a quick and delicious buffet. The best part is, they'll do the dishes. Pizza Ranch makes family meals fun and fast. For delivery or carryout, call 792-3456. Pizza Ranch, just off Highway 30 in Carroll.
Whoa, that's good.
Jeff Blankman talking here today with Deb Danner, of course, the boys swim coach with the Carroll Tigers. And, Coach, congratulations. What a fantastic day on Friday down at the prelims for the individual events. Tegan Renzi in first place going into the finals today in the 200 free, second seed in the 100 back, and then Legan Cease advances in the consolation side of things in both the 100 fly and the 100 breaststroke. So a really good day getting both guys through in both of their events.
Oh, yeah, it is a fantastic day so far. The boys swam very well. So, yeah, we get to see them swim again, their individuals again tomorrow, and plus the relays. So it's going to be one fun day. So, yeah, we're excited.
Tegan right now has a 28/100th of a second advantage over the guy in second. That was with today's race. Anything can happen tomorrow, but how strong of a swim to win by that? That's a pretty impressive time.
Yeah, he swam very well. We know he's got more in him, so yeah, we're just waiting to see how that goes. He'll have kids that are seated, like you said, within 100th or 10 hundredths or whatever next to him, so that's really going to help push him a little bit harder. Because he dominated his heat fairly well, so we're excited to see what happens when there's competition right beside him. So it'll be a good race for him.
What's the key for him to bring home that state title tomorrow?
You know what? He has fun swimming. We don't get too focused in on anything. He just dives in and enjoys his swim, and he'll go fast. I'm not too worried about that. He'll have an amazing race.
Sitting second right now in the 100 backstroke. Was he as impressive in his heat in that one as he was the 200 free?
he still did a very, very good job. Still swam a 49, and actually he swam a little bit faster than he did at districts.
Yep.
About 0.04 of a second faster. So, yeah, it was a good swim for him. I can't really complain about it. So, yeah, he's excited. He's looking forward to swimming Saturday and just killing it there. So, yeah, he wants to be at the top of that podium really bad.
And he knows the guy that's in first in that event right now, and Dylan Aldo, Waukee Northwest. You guys saw him at the district qualifying, so got to be pretty comfortable. And there's other guys in the competition of course, but got to be comfortable with the one guy he's trailing in that event right now.
Oh yeah. He knows Dylan very well, so he knows what Dylan's capable of, and Dylan knows what Tegan's capable of. So it will be a very tight race.
Legan Cease finishes 13th in the 100 fly, 14th in the 100 breaststroke, both times off just a little bit from the state qualifying meet last Saturday. But what did you see from Legan on Friday?
Yeah, he swam his heart out. He did a fantastic job. Not real happy with his start, so we know we can work on that a little bit during warm-ups in the morning. So, we can get that fixed, no problem, and that can drop half a second off his time easily. So, we got a few things we can work on during warm-ups. So, and he knows this, and we'll go in and we'll see what we can do with that.
Coach, when do you guys head down this morning?
So the gate opens at 9:30 for us, so we'll probably be there around 9:30. So, yeah, it'll be 9:30 isn't early, but it'll be an early morning either way. So.
You got a few other boys, Weston Toft and Jordan Wilson, going to be a part of that 200 freestyle relay. Landon Cadwell will also be another guy there in the 400 freestyle relay. So those two relays kind of later in the day and later in the event tomorrow. So what do you see out of the two relays? What's the hopes for them, and how do you keep the guys that aren't in the pool, as individuals, kind of fresh and ready to go for the relays late in the meet on Saturday?
Yeah, we got a warm-up, cool-down pool to use, so we'll throw them in there, let them do a little extra warm-up before their races, and then, they've been excited, pumped up, going, cheering on the two boys all day Friday. So, I feel good about that carrying into Saturday's competition for them. So, seeing what the boys have done. They just want to add to it. So I think they're going to do a good job, and I think keeping them up and going is not going to be an issue. They'll take care of that themselves.
I know you're always really good at kind of anticipating what's going to happen. Did things play out about the way you thought they would on Friday?
Yeah, Tegan, he did exactly what expected. Would he have liked to gone in number one seed in the backstroke? Absolutely. But, I knew there was going to be a couple of boys that were going to drop some time and make it a difficult thing for him to go in number one. But, number two, I can't complain about either. So we'll take that. I know Legan is just a little bit disappointed with his places on his breaststroke and butterfly, but, he knows he's got that opportunity yet to improve and place a lot higher, and he can still medal in that, and he knows that. So we're good with that. We're talking about that a little bit, and we'll have him in the right mindset.
Well, Coach, as always, it's good to catch up with you. Appreciate the time here today. Best of luck coming up on Saturday at the state swim meet, and we look forward to talking about how well the kids did next week.
All right, thank you.
You bet. Head coach Deb Danner again with the Carroll Boys swim team, back with more on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show here on KCIM.
Hi, this is Dr. Rick Gotting. Join me here on KCIM at 10 o'clock on Sunday mornings where I talk about orthopedics and whatever else really comes to mind. We have a good time on the show, and we would like to invite you to join us.
Listen this Sunday morning at 10 a.m. right here on KCIM for the St. Anthony Hospital Orthopedics Show with Dr. Rick Gotting. For more information about St. Anthony Orthopedics, go to stanthonyhospital.org or call 794-5536.
Let's wrap up the Carroll girls wrestling season as, again, they took 2 wrestlers down to the state tournament and both of them making the podium on Friday night. Joining us right now to take a look at the season is head coach Joe Daniels. Joe, as always, appreciate all the time you've given us here this season.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet, Coach. As I just mentioned, both Bree Kiger and Emma Daniels making it down to the state tournament last week. That wrapped up on Friday. Both get the podium. Bree finishing in 8th and Emma in 6th. Let's start with Emma, who advanced into Friday night. Went 3-3 overall in the tournament. Lost to the same young lady, Haley Armstrong, who I think she said she's wrestled about 20 times in her career. Twice down there. Them two know each other extremely well. And then the Buffum girl from Missouri Valley, the other loss, but picked up 3 really nice wins there as well, and all of those wins by fall. So she goes 3-3 with 3 wins by fall. What did you see from Emma, and how proud were you to see her get on that podium?
Well, I saw mostly what we've been seeing all year, and I think we've talked about this a couple of times. It's the experience, right? So for her, it was consistency. You don't change anything last minute. Once you get to the tournament, there's an old saying, dance with the one that brought you. And that's what she had to do. She had to wrestle the same way she's been wrestling all year. It's kind of unfortunate that she ended up seeing the same girls that have kind of been the thorn in her side her whole career. But, we want to wrestle the best, and especially in that venue in front of that crowd. And, we still feel like those matches could go either way. Like I said, those are kind of her rivals anyway. And so if you're going to wrestle your rival, it might as well be on the biggest stage of the year. We didn't come away with wins in those matches, but at the end of the day, she ends her season with 8 losses, and 4 of them were to Haley Armstrong. Nobody that beat her did not finish in the top 5 at state. So it's okay. I mean, we do have things to work on, but if there's only 1 or 2 girls out there that we have to worry about, that makes planning and preparation a lot easier in our off season. As far as her placement goes, we were ecstatic to get both of our girls onto the podium. Of course, that was the goal. Our team has never done that before, and we were in there just kind of limping along, doing the best we could for both the girls. Neither one of them were 100%, but it's like I told them, nobody in that gym is 100%. So
right.
We can't make excuses, and we either do it or we don't. So for her to get through one extra round to be able to get to the 5th and the 6th, that was great for her. But honestly, there wasn't a lot of celebration in that room. She came in, she was ranked fairly high. There was certain expectations for her, and it was a good finish. But I think, at least in her mind, she wishes she would have done a little better, gotten a little further. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as the athlete doesn't beat themselves up about it too much. We want those girls to never really be happy with a win, never really be happy with something unless it's first. I mean, that's the fuel that gets them the next season to improve. So,
Coach, for Bree, finished up in 8th place. I know you mentioned kind of everybody battling things down there, but I could tell every time she came over to interview with me after her matches that she was breathing hard and that you could tell that she was really battling a head cold, which makes it tough. But goes 2-3, picked up a couple of wins by decision, ended up losing to the Rasmussen girl from Audubon Macy that would have put her in that 5th, 6th place area. But I thought a pretty strong performance from her. How did you feel like she wrestled down there?
Well, and again, we've talked about Bree too several times, and nothing changes with her. I think she got her stage and her opportunity to prove to anybody that was watching all the things that I've said in the interview. Just tough 100% tough. Every time she goes out there, it doesn't matter the score. She's going 100%. And it does not matter if she's hurt. It does not matter if she's ill. If she's, above 50%, you're gonna get your butt pack of lunch, because Bree Kiger is not gonna give up on you. There was one match there where she was down 9-3. They were on their feet. She got a 7-point move with I don't know, a couple seconds left on the clock. And the other girl, if I remember right, I think it was Perry. She didn't even know she lost. I mean, Bree just kept coming at her to the point where she didn't even know what the score was. And when the dust settled, we moved on, and she didn't. But that's what it's like for us with Bree Kiger. She does not stop. She was hoping to have a little bit closer match with Macy, but good for her. She's a local wrestler as well. At regionals, I think we had a better match there. Maybe Bree was feeling a little better, or maybe Audubon found something on tape. I'm not sure what the case may be, but that was a really good match too. Honestly, all of Bree's matches were pretty good, even in the losses. A lot of really close matches. And again, I've said it a million times, but Bree Kiger, for only being 115, she might be the toughest girl in the room. So, her opponents definitely saw that. So we were proud of that. The number really didn't matter too much to her. She just wanted to get on the podium. So, I mean, eighth is great. It's podium, so that's what she was looking for.
Coach, what do you take away as far as taking two girls down and getting both on the podium? What does it mean for the program and to be the head coach that gets the first two girls ever in Carroll history, and the first two girls, along with the Rasmussen girl who made it three for us, the first three girls that we covered, to be on the podium?
Well, I think just to be a part of all of that is pretty cool. I try not to take too much credit on most of that stuff. I mean, those girls have been good for 3 years, at least the Carroll girls have. And I mean, just to kind of be in there and be able to take the pictures, on your own phone and do all that stuff while wearing the Carroll gear. It was a proud moment for me, for both of the girls, also Audubon as well. I'm from here. I was raised here, so it means a lot, especially with a newer program. We've only had 3 years in the whole sport. So we will have more on there, but, the coaching side, I mean, it made me really greedy. I don't know that I'm going to be happy with 2 qualifiers next year. I'd like to at least double it. I know that our girls are working hard. Their off-season already started. I know a few of them have already been in open mats. They're still practicing with the boys. And if that work ethic continues for the next 6 to 7 months, we're going to do some really, really good things next year.
Well, Coach, we appreciate everything throughout the season. Enjoy the off season and not having to deal with me every Saturday morning and stuff in the early morning. So we appreciate everything. Congratulations on all the success, and we look forward to next year.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
You bet. Head coach Joe Daniels again with the Carroll Girls Wrestling Team, back with more on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show here on KCIM.
Hey, moms and dads out there, let Pizza Ranch make feeding your family fun and affordable. Every Tuesday night, kids 12 and under eat free. Whether they love the pizza, chicken, or mac and cheese, you'll make them all happy. When you're on the go with sports, church, or, well, just life, come in for a quick and delicious buffet. The best part is, they'll do the dishes. Pizza Ranch makes family meals fun and fast. For delivery or carryout, call 792-3456. Pizza Ranch, just off Highway 30 in Carroll.
Whoa, that's good.
Randy Beeson, the head boys basketball coach of the Carroll Tigers, joining us on this Saturday morning here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show. Randy, always good to catch up with you. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Good talking to you.
You bet, Coach. You guys had kind of a wild one. The weather last night, yesterday afternoon, postponing your trip over to Gilbert. You're still looking at a makeup date there, hopefully sometime early next week. But 2-0 since we talked to you last Saturday morning, went over and defeated Denison Schleswig on the road on Saturday. Played really well, especially early in that game, and then got a nice conference win on the road over at North Polk. So looks like the guys may be starting to like some of those road trips.
Yeah, it's not usually how it is. Usually I like to play at home a little bit more, but you got to win some games on the road too. So we played pretty well against Denison. First half, our defense wasn't spectacular. The Grady kid ended up having 16 points in the first half. He averages 8 on the year. Hit 3 threes, so played really well. And luckily, offensively, we scored the basketball. We shared it really well. We scored 45 points in the first half. But Denison averages 35 points a game and had scored 28 or 39 points a game, something like that, and had scored 28 in the first half. And second half, I think they scored 4 points in the second half. So we did a really good job defensively. And again, offensively, guys shared the ball and made the extra pass. So did a much better job finding a way to play some good defense there in the second half.
What changed defensively for you guys in that second half?
I mean, just a little more effort all the time. The Grady kid got some good looks from the three-point line, and we weren't there on the catch. We were there 2 seconds after it, which then he had the opportunity to get some shots off and kind of do what he wants. So I feel like the intensity just picked up a little bit on the defensive end, and they're a little limited. He's the one guy from last year that played with a really good team last year. So we knew if we could slow him down a little bit that they'd have a tough time. And like I said, we did a really good job there in the second half. I think they had 1 basket and 2 free throws is all they had in the second half. So just our sense of urgency, we got a lot of deflections, forced a lot of turnovers, and then we, like I said, we shared the ball really well. We had Trey hit 4 threes in the game, had 16 points. Miles did a really good job scoring the basketball, made his free throws, hit a 3. He had 16 points as well. And Jared was solid too, scoring 14 points. So it was just a good team effort. We had some other guys step in and do some things. So just one of those games where, everyone got some opportunities to play, and it was a good team win.
Second quarter looks like maybe the difference to separate yourself a little bit from North Polk on Tuesday.
Yeah, that was a good one too. We started off 10-2 there early in the first quarter, and then they had back-to-back threes to cut it to 10-8. Second quarter, we held them to 3 points the first about 5 minutes of the second quarter, and led by 7 at halftime. So did a really good job defensively. Third quarter, they got back in it. I think they tied it up 27-27 before we went on our little run in the third and fourth quarter. So it was a good win. North Polk, they struggled late, but they beat us last time. Then they lost 3 games, and then they beat Ballard, who's a really good team. And then they lost 4 in a row from there. So, they're capable of winning every game. They're in all those games that they lost. So anytime you play a conference team on the road, you know that it's going to be a tough one. But our guys did a really nice job defensively. We did a really good job, much better than last time we played them. We watched film on the first time we played them, and man, it was not pretty. So, which scares you a little bit playing them the second time. Like, okay, were we just that bad defensively, or does the stuff that they're running really, really good and just hard to guard? So, I was proud of our guys. We held them to 46 points, and they play hard all the time, and they're really good defensively. And so we scored 59 points, and once again, a pretty good team effort as well. Stone did a really nice job. He had 4 and 1s in that game, ended up with 16 points. Jared hit a couple threes, scored 12 points, and then we had, Miles had another good game with 9 points. Carter Essex scored 8 points. Trey hit a 3 and had a couple baskets, scored 6 points. So we had a lot of guys that got their name in the book, and another complete game. So I was proud of that game as well.
Coach, how much does it hurt or not at all to lose the Gilbert game from last night and have to throw that into a week where you had just one game, and that's a non-conference game with Harlan right now scheduled on Thursday?
Yeah, obviously it's nice to play. It's nice to have a normal schedule where you know that you're going to practice on Wednesday, you're going to practice on Thursday, be ready for Friday, when you've kind of followed that schedule all year long. We used to play Humboldt on Monday and then Harlan on Thursday. So We're used to actually having 2 games that week until we moved some things around. So to me, it would have been nice to play, but also I think it works pretty well in our schedule. Get a day of practice on Monday, be ready to play them on Tuesday, get a day of practice on Wednesday, be ready to play Harlan on Thursday. So it actually worked out okay in our favor if we do end up playing that game on Tuesday. But it's nice to keep things as normal as possible, or as regularly scheduled, like you're used to, right? You try to get guys in a rhythm. You try to get guys in a normal routine so they can get in a feel for, when practice is. But when you live in Iowa, things aren't always going to go that way. And sometimes those things are out of your control. So, and they're good. I mean, that's the last conference game. It matters in the conference standings. We beat them at our place, so they'll be ready to go when we play them. So, it's more just you get amped up and excited to play a game when it's a big game too. And then it's like, all right, we're going to have to wait a couple more days to do that, to get that game in. So I think that's just the toughest thing is guys are prepared and ready to go. And then it's all right. And just have to save that for a few days. So.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate you joining us here today. Best of luck with both of those games next week, as I know you'll have to get that Gilbert game in sometime. It looks like maybe after Monday the weather looks a little bit better. So appreciate you joining us here today, and best of luck coming up next week. We'll talk to you again here soon.
Yep. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate all the coverage like always.
Head coach Randy Beeson again with the Carroll boys basketball team, back with more of the Pete Ranch Coaches Show here on KCIM.
Hey there, I'm Chloe, your social sidekick, and I'm here to take the stress out of building your online presence. Think of me as your branding BFF. I'll handle the posts, hashtags, and analytics while you focus on what you do best, running your business. Together, we'll grow your audience, boost engagement, and make your brand shine online. Why do it yourself when you can have someone who lives and breathes this stuff? Let me help you stand out and save you time. Call me today because your brand deserves it.
Carroll Broadcasting Social Sidekick, your brand's new bestie.
Let's talk a little Carroll girls basketball right now with Katie Cook. Of course, she is the head coach for the Carroll Tigers. And, Coach, appreciate you joining us here today. And I know coming off kind of a tough loss against a really good North Polk team on Tuesday, but congrats on everything so far this season, sitting 16-5 right now and 10-5 in the Raccoon River Conference. So congrats on that. Appreciate you joining us here today.
Well, thanks, Jeff. It's my pleasure to be here.
You bet, Coach. Let's bounce to Saturday first. You guys, since the last time we talked, you went over to Denison Schleswig. Outstanding defensive performance in that first half, holding them to a total of 4 points, allowed you to build a little bit of a lead. I thought the offense maybe struggled a little bit early, but able to come out of there with a pretty nice win.
Yeah, defensively, I was really pleased with our team's effort. And when you're struggling to score, it's nice to have that to lean on.
What was it about the defense that really stood out to you?
I think just the ball pressure. Probably we tried to we did some full court pressure. Again, I think I've said it probably a million times, but our length is really gives other teams trouble, especially with Caitlin at the top of our zone press. Caitlin Aiden, she's 6 foot, quick, long, disrupts a lot of things for us.
And, Coach, I thought Chloe Cook got off to a really quick start for you guys that day. If I remember my numbers correctly from the first quarter, I think I had her for 6 or 8 points and maybe 4 or 5 rebounds, like almost immediately in that game.
Yeah, she was great right from the start. I think a couple of and ones early on when we really needed some buckets to get us going. It was nice to see her finish in the paint and put her free throws in.
And then everybody else kind of joined in. Caitlin finished up with 7 steals on the day. Olivia Rowetter did a nice job inside on the boards for you. And Carly Minkin, what a performance from her. How much has she helped this team since being able to get healthy and back into the lineup?
It's been great having Carly back and just getting to see her play and be successful in a game like Saturday against Denison. We, especially, with Allie Cook out with an injury, it's nice to have that depth to be able to not drop off a ton when we have an injury from a starter. You mentioned Caitlin with 7 steals. That's outstanding. It was a lot of things clicking at times. 7 steals, Carly's big points towards the end, Chloe's good buckets at the beginning, and intermittently there were so many dry spells in that game. It was very up and down.
Coach, you mentioned Allie. How much does it impact you guys not to have her in the lineup? She's been playing so outstanding all season, but really I thought the second half of the year.
Right. She's really come into her own, and she's a tough matchup because she can hit threes. She's kind of a slasher off the drive. We can post her up if they put a guard on her, which they usually have to do. And she's one of our best defenders. Very vocal, a leader out there. So we definitely miss her. Missed having her these last couple of games, but she's on the road to recovery, and her season is not over.
Yeah, glad to hear that she'll be back hopefully here soon. Coach, North Polk on Tuesday night. Looks like they got off to a quick start against you. How did you guys play on Tuesday?
Well, it took us a little while to settle in. I thought we played pretty well, honestly. North Polk's they're so good. They have so many players that can score, shooters. Then you throw in a 6'3" post player. It was hard for us to slow them down. So I think the first quarter we were kind of figuring out how we needed to guard. And then the second quarter, I think we matched them 18 to 18, which was for us fantastic. I think we hit 4 threes in the second quarter. Sophia Tigran with two of those. Chloe had a couple buckets inside. So to be able to, score 18 points against a team like North Polk in a quarter is a good sign for us. Obviously, we wanted to give them more of a run for their money. We ended up losing by about 20. But, it's nice to have the opportunity first to just go for that upset. But it's also a win to just get to play them and learn from it and get better and improve. I mean, it's not something you have an opportunity to do all the time. So the second time we've got to play them this season, and we were much better for it the first time, and I'm hoping we're better for it this time too.
Coach, you mentioned Sophia Tidgren knocked down a few shots for you. Always been a good three-point shooter, but it seems to me like she's taken her game to maybe a different level this year in some other areas.
Absolutely. Sophia, you couldn't, as a coach, you couldn't ask for a more coachable kid. She's willing to do whatever we ask. She has improved her defensive game tremendously the past couple of years. She's tough, physically tough. I don't think there's anybody on the floor more than Sophia, going after loose balls, tying people up. She's been fantastic and a great kid, fantastic student. We're really going to miss her.
Coach, the game with Gilbert Friday night postponed, hopefully rescheduled for early next week. You don't start postseason until Saturday, so early next week, probably the best chance for you guys to get that doubleheader in. How much do you need that game to not just have over a week off before you start your postseason run on Saturday night at home?
I'm happy to have a game. I don't think we need a whole week off before we play again. And Gilbert's great competition. They're ranked 14th now in 4A. So I think it's exactly what we need going into the postseason.
Coach, as always, appreciate you joining us here today. Wish you the best of luck coming up hopefully Tuesday or so against Gilbert and then next Saturday with your opening round postseason game.
Great. Thanks, Jeff.
You bet. Head coach Katie Cook again with the Carroll girls basketball team. We're back with more on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show here on KCIM.
Nutrien Ag Solutions in Breda is hiring for an operations support position. If you have warehouse experience, are able to load and unload trucks, and perform light maintenance, you'll love being part of a great team with the best benefits around, including 3 weeks vacation and more. Starting on day 1, you're eligible for health, dental, and vision insurance. Apply for this operations support position now at jobs.nutrien.com. Or for more information, call 673-2305 or stop by Nutrien Ag Solutions in Breda and ask for Kathy.
We're talking at Carroll Boys Wrestling. Eric Noggle, the head coach, joining us here today. Coach, I appreciate you joining us here today. Seems like it's been a while since we've actually talked about an actual wrestling match for you guys.
I know. It sounds like we don't do anything for the last how many weeks. So, yeah.
Yeah, you guys
usually got regional duels and things, so we don't have that this year. So, yeah, we've been pretty empty.
Yeah, you guys haven't had anything since the first day of December with the Raccoon River Conference meet. That'll be 2 weeks today since the last time you guys hit the mats for real. I'm guessing and assuming here that you got some practices in maybe against some other area schools or something just to see somebody different in practice here over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, we had South Central Calhoun came down this week and wrestled with us, so that was fun. Lance brought his guys down, and it was fun to bang it out with those guys a little bit, so it gave us something different to do. And otherwise, yeah, we've been basically wrestling ourselves and trying to improve that way. So,
what has the focus been? Probably different for each guy, but what are some of the main things that you've been talking with the guys about and getting ready and working on?
Basically just minimizing the mistakes we make and working on the little things. I mean, basically it's that time of the year where you gotta find ways to strengthen up your attacks and get your takedowns and work on your escapes and things that you give up and giving up wrists and just little position things. So we spend a lot of time on working on position and feet work and things like that, kind of what you do in the beginning of the year, but a little more emphasis and a little more driven and a little more focus on it. And we just kind of drill it hard and back to the fundamentals is what needs to happen.
Has it been a good 2 weeks of practice?
Yeah, I feel it's been a good 2 week of practice. I mean, it's really hard to tell when you've been, wrestling with each other and things like that, but I saw a lot of good things when South Central came down and saw some things out of some guys which were nice to see, and you see some improvements, but again, you really don't know how much you're improving when you're wrestling the same guy every day and working on those things, and you look good at certain times. And I think so. I think a lot of it has to do with just getting mentally ready as well. I mean, spend a lot of time letting the body heal and a lot of times getting that mind right in, because that month of January was a grind. Our January is terrible, and it kind of beats up the soul a little bit. So we spent a lot of time on like I said, fundamentals, getting better and improving those little things and getting healthy. So hopefully it pays off.
Coach, did you get healthy, and is everybody kind of in the best shape that maybe they've been physically since, before the season or early in the season?
Yeah, this is the best we're going to be. I mean, it is what it is. It's the best we're going to be. And, yeah, some guys got healed up. Michael Roeder, got a chance to heal up. Heck, he hasn't wrestled since the Perry tournament, so he's had almost a month off of healing and things like that. So we've spent a lot of time with that, and some guys that have been beaten up and working in there. So, I mean, it's just I think we are. We'll find out.
Coach, so I know every weight class is going to have really good wrestlers in it. What do you think are the most stacked weight classes as far as like maybe the toughest ones for guys, not just your guys, but the toughest brackets that you may see up there today?
I think they're, like you said, they're all going to be in there. I think 26 is going to be a tough weight. I think 32 and 38 are going to be tough. I think 75 is going to be a tough one as well. 90 and heavyweight is going to be, I'd probably have to say probably 215 in heavyweight. I think those are what I don't want to say stacked, but they're probably the most even. You know what I mean? It's anybody can beat anybody in there. So I think I would say 215 and heavyweight is pretty even. I don't know much that's going to separate those guys, and it's going to be, one mistake here or one mistake there. But those are the two. I mean, everybody else has got their things in it, but I mean, probably the most even are going to be those.
Bishop Heelan, of course, is the host. Cherokee will be up there. Kemper, OABCIG, Sergeant Bluff, Luton, who sounds like maybe the overall favorite for the districts, Sheldon, South O'Brien, and Western Christian. I know you're familiar with some of those schools, having seen them. What are the schools you've seen, and what do you know about the schools you haven't seen so far?
Sergeant Bluff, we've seen every week for the last month, so we see them every weekend. It's kind of a running joke. Wherever we're at, they're at. Wherever they're at, we're at. So we've seen them pretty much the last month of January for the last how many years. So we know what they have, and they're probably the front runners in it. I mean, they're team dual team and a state dual team and pretty good. I mean, they got two number one kids at 75 and 65. So, they're pretty good there. And they're getting Curry back at 26, I think. Yeah, 26. I think he's coming back, so that'll help them out a lot in there. But and we've seen Kemper, so you've seen those guys. Cherokee we saw at the Herbergens. They got a few guys here and there. We haven't seen Sheldon at all. We saw Western Christian at the Herbergens, BCIG at the Herbergens, as well as the Carroll Invite or Tiger Invite. They came down, so we've seen them early in December and then saw them at their place. And then Bishop Heelan's probably the only team that we haven't seen through there. And Sheldon, we haven't seen those guys. But other than that, I think we've seen kind of everybody else through there. So I don't know. I think it's pretty up in the air. I would probably look at Sergeant Bluff as being the favorite, and probably us following behind, and then everybody else is kind of sprinkled in there. So it's going to be a pretty even matchup.
Well, Coach, appreciate you joining us here today. Best of luck coming up there today, and looking forward to catching up with you and a lot of guys down at the state meet coming up next week.
Well, I hope your predictions are right. So you didn't ask how many this year, so that's nice to see. But yeah, I hope so. So thanks for everything you guys do, and as always, go Tigers.
You bet. And I've learned, Coach, not to ask.
So you're getting better, buddy.
Yeah, taking 21 years, but I'm getting better. Head coach Eric Noggle again with the Carroll Boys wrestling team. We're back with more coming up next year on the Pizza Edge Coaches Show.
This is Dustin Now at Champion Ford, and we're on fire with deals that'll blow your mind.
What kind of deals are you talking about, Dustin?
Buckle up, Donnie. Right now, you can score any new Ford for a jaw-dropping 1% below invoice, and you keep the rebates.
Wait. You're telling me 1% below invoice? That could be up to $1,000 off.
I sure did. It's like finding cash in your seat cushion, Donnie.
Now that's a hot deal.
That's how we roll at Champion Ford. So what are you waiting for? Stop in and claim your savings today at Champion Ford, where everybody wins.
Shane Vaughn, the head boys wrestling coach with the Kemper Knights, joining us here on this Saturday morning on the Peach Ranch Coaches Show. Knight's going to be heading up to Sioux City today to Bishop Heelan for the Class 2A District 3 state qualifying meet. Coach, it's been a little over a week since you guys have been on the mats for a meet. How have you guys used that time to get ready for today?
We've been able to just kind of like focus and fine tune a little bit. Everyone's at a little bit different point in what they need and where they need to be focused. So we're able to kind of individualize as well as take a step back and look from the broad perspective as a team. A couple of big things across the board that we needed. So we've had a pretty focused week of practice. So hopefully we see that pay off this weekend.
Nice to have this kind of time right before, the state qualifying meet to kind of hone in on some of those things.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's always good when you can kind of catch your breath for a second and have that perspective of, we got a second, what do we need to do?
As far as any, did you guys have anybody come up and wrestle with you? I mean, anything like that? Any other teams just to see a different look in the wrestling room?
Yeah, we worked out with Audubon a few days ago. They've got a couple guys that are really good partners for us and present some different looks that we needed to see. So that was a really good pairing.
What did you guys kind of find out, and how did things go?
It went pretty well. I think they got better, we got better. It's just always good to get that different look, different feel. Like I said, they match up well with us in terms of partners, and we're able to get some competitive live groups in. So it was good to see our guys, have that competitive mindset and focus at a practice.
I know all the weight classes going to have good wrestlers in it, Shane, but which weight classes look to be maybe the most stacked up there today?
There are a lot that look pretty even across the board. Heavyweight has a lot of comparable records. That has a lot of tough kids in it, so that'll be a good one. 215's another one with a handful of guys with pretty solid records, so that'll be one to keep an eye on for sure. And then, the little weights are always scrappy, and really at the end of the day, this weekend is just about who shows up. It's been a long year. A lot of people kind of dinged up, bumps, bruises, sickness, whatever. So you never quite know what you're going to get out of different kids at districts, and I'm looking forward to seeing, who shows up for us and what the competition looks like.
Has that been a big conversation with you, with the guys this week about the mental aspect of things?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's always good when you can put together a nice regular season, but at the end of the day, this is the tournament that matters. So, always kind of stress that no matter where you're at, it doesn't matter. Like if everyone's on the same spot in the bracket, you got to go out, you got to win a couple good matches this weekend. So really just got to put one good day together and make it count.
Yeah, and the thing probably too is upsets always seem to happen. Guys make it that maybe weren't supposed to. Guys that are seeded high seem to get knocked out and stuff. Do you talk much about that with the guys, or do you just kind of figure that they understand that, hey, that number 1 seed may go down early in this?
Yeah, when we talk about it, we kind of used to remind them, don't worry about seeding, don't worry about records, just take it one match at a time. We kind of tell them, you focus on you and let us worry about the rest. And if there's stuff you need to know, we'll make sure to tell you. So as long as they stay focused on themselves and what they need to do, good things are going to happen for our guys.
You guys will be up there along with Heelan, Carroll, Cherokee, OABCIG, Sergeant Bluff, Luton, Sheldon, South O'Brien, and Western Christian. A lot of those teams kind of not in our area. A few of them I know you've seen Carroll this year. Who are the other teams that are there you're familiar with, maybe have seen this year, even if it's at a practice or some off-season type of thing? But how many of the teams do you feel like you're comfortable with as far as knowing them?
Yeah, we haven't seen Heelan or Cherokee at all. Sergeant Bluff hasn't been any tournaments with us, but they're a team we've seen in the past. We kind of know their guys a little bit. We saw Sheldon right away at the first term of the year over at Humboldt. Saw OA last week in a quad at Tri-Center. And then Western Christian, we haven't seen it all. So a lot of unfamiliarity, but teams that you can kind of piece together and figure out about where they are by looking at who they've wrestled, who wrestled, and all that kind of stuff. But I'm looking forward to seeing how the tournament shakes out.
Would you rather have your guys be in a bracket they're familiar with the guys, having seen them, or is it newer wrestlers that maybe they haven't faced? Which one is the advantage for your guys, do you feel?
I think sometimes it depends on the kid. We have some guys that they don't care. They're just going to go out and wrestle no matter what. And we have some that kind of, tend to get in their own head a little bit, either for good or for bad. So I think, if it's a kid that's able to stay focused, just go out and wrestle. It doesn't really matter who's across from them. But, at the end of the day, it's all about where we are mentally and where the other people are mentally. And I feel good about where we're at.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate all of the time. I wish you the best of luck, and looking forward to catching up with you and the guys down at the state tournament coming up next week.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You bet. Head coach Shane Vaughn again with the Kemper Boys wrestling team. We're back with more of the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show coming up for you next year on KCIM.
Each year, around 800,000 Americans have a heart attack. If you or someone you know has experienced a heart attack, heart failure, or heart surgery, your doctor may have spoken with you about cardiac rehab. Hi, I'm Callie Smits, registered nurse in the cardiac rehab department at St. Anthony Regional Hospital. Studies show that people who complete a cardiac rehab program can increase their life expectancy by up to 5 years. At St. Anthony, we provide education for heart-healthy living, guidance on stress management, and a personalized treatment plan tailored to you. Our team of registered nurses will work closely with you to help you build healthy habits, gain confidence in your daily activities, and lessen the chances of another heart attack. If your doctor recommends cardiac rehab, ask if you can complete it right here at St. Anthony Regional Hospital. February is American Heart Month, a time to focus on your cardiovascular health. Let us help you take the next step toward a healthier future. St. Anthony Regional Hospital. Always look to the cross, always St. Anthony.
Sean Minahan, the head boys basketball coach with the Kemper Knights, joining us here on this Saturday morning here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show. Of course, we're talking with the Hawkeye 10 Conference champion head coach and outright champion coach. That's got a pretty nice ring to it. Appreciate you joining us here today, and congrats on that.
Yeah, thank you. Feels good. This is, since I've been at Kemper, whether as a head coach or assistant coach, I think this is our fourth time winning the conference, but this is the first time I'm pretty sure that was outright, so that makes it a little extra special.
What do you think was the difference for this team this season?
Just the balance that we have. We got 7 guys that can go out and score and are super talented, and for the most part, we compete and play really high-level defense. Tuesday night, we maybe didn't quite hit that mark, but I thought our guys, have done as a whole really competed on offensively and defensively all year.
Coach, did you feel like the guys felt any pressure going into that game on Tuesday night down at St. Albert, or has this team kind of just been able to deal with that all season long with the way they've played?
No, I don't think there was really any pressure from it. I think it was just one of those nights where they went triangle and 2 on us and gave us some open looks that just didn't want to go. I thought our guys after a really rough first quarter, missing some easy looks, I thought our guys settled in really well. One thing we weren't able to do was create turnovers and create those transition points off of turnovers, because normally we get over 10, 12 plus steals a game, and I think we only had 3. So that in itself changed our attack mode a little bit. But I thought our guys continued to battle really hard.
Coach, you mentioned, just getting the 3 steals the other night. Your guys' offense generates a lot from that. I know you always want to see the defense go out and have those kind of nights where you have the big steals, but as you head into the postseason here, is it nice to see maybe you didn't get those and the offense still had to kind of find a way to execute without maybe getting out and getting in those transition baskets?
Yeah, I think that's something you always want to see. Sometimes teams want to try to make games ugly, and that's kind of St. Albert's, what they've done this year is they just try to make the games ugly, and they want to slow it down and make it a little, just muddy it up, I guess. So I thought our guys did a good job of, trying to battle through that. We got out to a 26-point lead, and I think we kind of went into coast mode, and I maybe subbed a little bit sooner than I should have. But at the same time, I think we just kind of went into, once we got up to 26, I think we kind of coasted, and credit to St. Albert's. So, they're a really young team, but they have talent. They're going to be I think they're going to be a tough out for come 1A district play. But they kept battling hard.
Were you surprised at the defensive strategy they threw at you guys?
Yeah, a little bit. We've seen some triangle and 2 this year, but it usually doesn't last very long because we're able to, score pretty much at will against it, and then and have guys that aren't guarded make open shots, and we missed a lot of wide open looks. They were one of the guys they weren't guarding was Carson, and Carson, even after that game, is still the leading 3-point percentage shooter in our conference. He was shooting over 60% from 3, and they were letting him shoot, so that was pretty risky. He was joking, kind of was messing with him a little bit, with his head a little bit, but that's okay. Get that out of the way now, and be ready to get ready things roll and come for postseason.
You guys were getting good looks, though, as you mentioned, the open threes. They just weren't falling, but also a lot of shot at the rim. Those were the ones I was surprised because usually you guys don't miss those, but early in that game on Tuesday, you kind of struggled even at the rim.
Yeah, they were really physical with us at the rim, and I think our guys got a little frustrated with that because I think our guys were frustrated that we were getting called for some fouls, and at the same time they thought we weren't getting the same call on the other end. I don't know. I thought the officiating was fairly consistent. Our guys that's kind of how they felt. Ryan got in foul trouble early in that first half, so that he wasn't able to get in a flow either offensively or defensively, and Dylan got into foul trouble as well. So I think that kind of messed with them both a little bit from how they wanted to defend. And then offensively, yeah, we just a couple of them there just bounced around the rim and just did not want to fall through for whatever reason. But on the plus side, we had our best rebounding game of the year, so we rebounded the ball extremely well.
You went on a 16-2 run there in the middle part of the second quarter to close out the half and really grab control of the game. What do you think sparked that?
Yeah, I just think our defense was the big thing that took over in that 16-2 run. We were getting stops and just getting run out in transition. It was, we were rebounding really well, and then we just automatically off of their misses, we were getting out, spacing the floor, running, and then we were able to knock down a couple of shots as well. That definitely helped.
Coach, I know a lot of people are going to talk about the last 4.5 minutes of that game. I know Doug and I were kind of surprised in the broadcast. You guys had gotten up 26. The next thing you know, it's down to an 11-point game. You mentioned kind of that night, maybe subbed a little early. Maybe the focus of the guys weaned a little bit. So what do you chalk that up to, and is that anything that concerns you at all heading into the postseason?
No, I think if anything, that's probably on me as a coach. I subbed our guys out a little bit too early. Carson came out. Carson and Ryan, we subbed both those guys out with, I think, around 5 minutes to go, if I remember right. And they're like, are we done? I'm like, yeah. And then we were looking at trying to get our other guys in, and they slowly kept chipping away at it. Even, we had other guys in when they still we're slowly chipping at it, but we thought we were comfortable enough, and weren't ready for them to quite go on the run that they went on at the end. We missed some good looks. I think they went on like a 10-0 run there at the end.
Coach,
So, and even in the last 90 seconds of the game, I think it was a 10-0 run.
you get a break now after clinching that conference championship outright. Coach, you guys get either East Marshall or Ogden to open up the postseason. It'll be next Thursday. I know probably East Marshall at 10 and 11 with a win over West Marshall looks like the favorite, but what do you get ready to do to face either one of those two teams?
Today we took our guys. Wednesday we didn't have anything because of the weather. Thursday we took our guys bowling just to celebrate it, and we had that full week, so we just wanted to kind of celebrate the accomplishment of winning the conference and have a little fun with the group. Friday we were able to get some shots up, and then Monday we'll mainly get some shots up and focus on that. Watch a little film from last Tuesday's game, and then based off of Monday we'll have a scouting report ready. But I've after looking at stats and initially and just doing some initial scouting, I have a feeling East Marshall looks pretty good.
Coach, did you guys do anything to celebrate that conference championship, or is that going to come at the end of the season when the postseason comes to an end?
That's where we went bowling on Thursday. Took the guys to the bowling alley. Took our varsity and JV guys there. Just to have a little fun and relax a little bit, and just kind of enjoy that accomplishment of winning the conference.
Well, Coach, congratulations. Appreciate you joining us here today. Best of luck coming up next Thursday, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
You bet. Head coach Sean Minahan again with the Kemper boys basketball team, back with more of the Pete's Ranch Coaches Show here on KCIM.
Stuart Memorial Community Hospital is proud to offer expert cardiology care close to home. Dr. Kyle Uveline and nurse practitioner Andrea Larson see patients in Lake City. Dr. Uveline offers convenient telehealth appointments the first Wednesday of each month, and Andrea Larson is available in person the third Wednesday of each month. Both providers are highly experienced and committed to providing compassionate care. If you are concerned about your heart or have a family history of heart disease, schedule an appointment by calling 712-464-4137.
Back here on the Pete's Ranch Coaches Shows, we talk Kemper girls basketball. Justin Yetmar is joining us right now. And, Coach, it's always good to catch up with you. How's the week been for you guys with the weather, kind of throwing maybe a missed day or two of practice into this week?
Yeah, it kind of started on Monday. We had Remsen scheduled. The girls were looking forward to playing that one, and that one got canceled, and they started playoffs on Thursday night, so we weren't able to get a reschedule in, but we used the time to get some practice in, get some prep for our regional game against Missouri Valley.
How much does that kind of hurt you to not get that meet in, or that game in, I should say, right before you head into the postseason? Because now you guys are going to have been off for over a week in between games, or do you think that benefits you and allows you to maybe get some of those bumps and bruises that you get throughout the season healed up?
Yeah, we kind of had this scheduled and set up perfectly for us. We went to Shenandoah last Friday, and then we were going to play Monday and use the rest of the week to prep. But sure would have been nice to get that game in. But the situation just didn't allow it to happen, and that's okay. So you just got to adjust and change focus. And the girls have done that so far this week. They seem locked in, ready for kind of the next stage of our season.
Coach, where do you feel like your team is here as the regular season came to an end?
It's kind of weird. I feel like we were playing some of our better basketball. We took 1A St. Albert, 1A number 1 St. Albert, really, much closer game than the score indicated. It was, a 3-point game with about a minute and a half left in the third quarter. And then Shenandoah, it was a 3-point game with 3 minutes left in that game. So, and they're ranked top 10 in 2A. So, we're playing really well. on the defensive end of the floor. We didn't shoot it very well against Shenandoah. We got great looks. They just didn't fall. So it's kind of one of those things where, we just keep telling the girls, keep shooting. You're great shooters. And they'll start to fall. So, I'm still kind of waiting on that night where we all just start to click. And, the good news, we get Kaylee Simons back. She hasn't played the last 2 games for us. So she's really she brings a ton of energy.
Mm-hmm.
She's obviously can really shoot it. So we get her back. So we're going to have all our pieces ready to go.
How much did that hurt? Was it more offensively or defensively not to have Kaylee those last couple of games?
I think offensively, she'd just been, she'd been averaging 15 points a game our last 10 games. So, she and she's so quick. She's able to get to the basket. She's able to create for others. So I think offensively, it's probably where we missed her the most. She's obviously a good defender too, but offensively, when you lose 15, 16 points a game, that tends to hurt a little bit.
Coach, what's going to be the bigger key for this team to make a deep postseason run here? Is it going to be the offensive side where you said you've struggled to shoot a little bit, or the defensive side where you feel like you've played pretty well?
I think it's going to be offensively. If we can put the ball into the hoop, we're gonna give everyone our best shot. And if we shoot with confidence, what I've really liked lately is we're getting to the basket more. And I don't want to say this as a coach, but Friday down in Shenandoah, I really thought we were having great takes to the hoop, and we weren't getting a great whistle, if you will. They shot 22 free throws and we shot 8, and we were, it's one thing if we were just chucking threes, but we were getting to the hoop, and like to see us get to the free throw line a little bit more. We probably deserve to get to the free throw line a little bit more, but that's really kind of the next layer is getting to the hoop, being multidimensional, getting to the free throw line, so those kinds of things. And and I think that's been some of the best progress we've made. Is seeing those driving gaps, taking advantage of that, and then if it's not there, we're kicking out for threes.
Coach, you guys get Missouri Valley coming up here on this Saturday evening. I'll be up there to broadcast the game. They come in 10-11. You come in 10-11. Were you surprised, to get such a good team in your opening round game of the postseason?
I think we kind of anticipated it'd be something like this. To be honest, when pairings came out, we were 10-8. And if you look at kind of the body of work, and I would like to think they did, our schedule is, top 5 in 3A. We've obviously, with our conference, our non-conference with the Helens and Carroll and Coon Rapids, and, St. Albert was technically a non-conference game the second time. So, we've put ourselves in a position where, and we do this every year, is, we challenge ourselves. We like to play the best, and so I'm happy with where we landed. And I think from there it's just kind of play who's in front of you and scout and be ready to go.
Coach, Grace Herman comes in leading them. What have you seen from them on film, and what do you guys got to do to move on tonight?
Yeah, they're very good defensively. That's kind of where they hang their hat. They're very good defensively. A little bit like us. At times they struggle to put the ball in the hoop, but they're very good defensively. She's a great athlete. They play her at the top of their zone a lot. She gets some runouts. She's long. She's aggressive. So we have to just value the basketball, understand where she's at, not allow for easy transition points and live ball turnovers. So we've prepped for that. We've done some things. We've credit to our freshman boys. Their season's complete, and they've kind of come in and give us different looks. So huge shout out to those 6 kids that have been coming in. It just shows to the camaraderie between the girls program, the boys program, where we're willing to help each other out, especially this time of year.
Well, Coach, as always, good to catch up with you. Appreciate you joining us here today. Looking forward to finally getting back out into the gym to broadcast you guys tonight. I was supposed to do the Monday game with St. Mary's, so it'll be nice to see you guys get a chance to play again. So appreciate you joining us, and we'll catch up with you later on today.
Real quick, Jeff, before I let you go, I just want to say congratulations on your award at the Chamber Banquet. No one more deserving and no one that does more for our kids in the local area. So truly well-deserved, and being part of the Chamber Board, I wish I could have been there, but no one more deserving, and congratulations to you, and thank you for everything you do.
Well, thank you very much, Coach Justin Yetmar, again, the head coach for the Kemper girls basketball team. Back with more on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show here on KCIM.
Hey, moms and dads out there, let Pizza Ranch make feeding your family fun and affordable. Every Tuesday night, kids 12 and under eat free. Whether they love the pizza, chicken, or mac and cheese, you'll make them all happy. When you're on the go with sports, church, or, well, just life, come in for a quick and delicious buffet. The best part is, they'll do the dishes. Pizza Ranch makes family meals fun and fast. For delivery or carryout, call 792-3456. Pizza Ranch, just off Highway 30 in Carroll.
Whoa, that's good.
Welcome back here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show, wrapping things up on this Saturday morning. As you heard, the Carroll Boys swim team will have, 6 events going down. 2 individuals for Tegan Renzi and 2 individuals as well for Legan Cease, and then the 200 freestyle relay and the 400 freestyle relay. All of the state meet stuff gets underway today at 12:30 down in Iowa City. Girls basketball playoffs scheduled today. South Central Calhoun hosting Lawton Bronson. Casey Miners with the broadcast on Kick 106.7. And the Kemper Knights hosting Missouri Valley. Both of those Class 2A and Class 3A respectively. The Kemper game will be on 93.7 KKRL tonight. I'll have that broadcast. Both of them right now are pregame at around 6:45 with the tip-off scheduled at 7 o'clock. State qualifying wrestling going on today on the boys side of things. We've got in Class 1A, ESAC at Emmetsburg. That starts at noon today. South Central Calhoun at South Hambledon starting at 10 this morning. Coon Rapids Bayard at Underwood at noon today. Class 2A, you've got Carroll and Kemper up at Bishop Heelan at noon, and Audubon at Glenwood today also getting underway at noon. Thanks to all the coaches for joining us here today. Thank you for tuning in here for the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show. Have a great day, everybody.
When you